Welcome back. This is episode 11 of the bonus stage, the only gaming review show that doesn't have swine flu. So we're both really happy about that. We're your hosts. I'm Jeff Ward.
I'm Tom Higgins.
And today we're going to be taking a look at a lot of really big summer games. Bionic Commando on the Xbox 360, Red Faction...
And PS3, actually. You played it on the PS3.
Yes, I played it on the PS3, Tom played it on 360, and then I also borrowed it for the achievements. Red Faction Guerrilla for the Xbox 360, Prototype for the Xbox 360, and the Prototype, I guess, combatant, InFamous for the PS3. But starting things off right away, we're going to look at Bionic Commando. Tom purchased this game on launch, and you got about a week's more play out of it than I did.
Yeah, it's, wow. It's fantastic environments, just to say right off the bat. Like, they've taken gray cities and made them just that extra touch of gray, which makes them wow.
Yeah, they're a little bit more gray than usual.
And you got light gray and dark gray, and then like a little gray in between.
There's like a dusty gray in between. It's like
and
it's like a
gray.
hue off gray.
And then you get the occasional level where you get this big bright red crane.
Yeah,
that's wow.
Or like maybe a dusty blue sort of ground, or the water, which is actually kind of gray and black.
Anyway, continuing on, it's actually a very good game, and really
well, he thinks it's a very good game. I
suck, so he doesn't like it.
We'll get into that, but anyway, go ahead.
I found it was a great game. Like the swing mechanics, there's a bit of a learning curve, but once you actually get a hold of it, it's actually really good and works well. That's
true. I mean, it is a steep learning curve, so anybody just like trying to jump into this game, you're not going to have that much luck. It does take a little bit of skill, and the tutorials, they do sort of walk you through it, but it takes a while to get used to and to really get good at it. I never got that good at it, but I got comfortable enough that it was fun.
Yeah. They give you tons of ways to be creative with the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Swinging through, the game actually comes with built-in challenges, and a good portion of them are actually linked to the achievements for the game, and I'm going to assume to the trophies as well. But a lot of the challenges force you to be creative as well, so it really puts you into the mindset that you have to, like, this arm is not just a way to get around, it's a way to actually do the combat, and it works out really well. There's a lot of the achievements, or the challenges, where, you have to swing and kill targets using certain weapons, and it's not actually easy. Even with the shotgun, where, it's a spread shot weapon, it's actually really difficult to kill a target mid-swing.
Especially when you're moving really at a good clip, and if you're like falling through the air or flying past them, it's kind of hard to target and take the shot off and make a successful shot at the same time.
Yeah, again, the environments, they actually did a very good job. The park you go to, which this park is fucking massive.
Yeah, what is it, like sort of like a central park type of thing. It's really cool. That's like my favorite environment of the whole thing is the park. It's really awesome.
You're essentially swinging off trees, busted up statues, bridges, and
biomechs,
rocks, essentially, and the occasional biomech. That's
man, I got raped in that part.
But like that scene really actually changes the pace of the game. The soundtrack was actually very good, even though a lot of the times it did seem that it was just 10 different ways to hear the same damn Bionic Commando.
I got to agree, but I loved the soundtrack. I thought that was the best part of the game. If there was like a CD-ROM or so I could download it on my computer, listen to my iPod.
Soundtrack you could buy?
Yes. Fuck you. I would totally go out and buy that. It would be good to have.
Great songs, but after you realize it's kind of gimmicky because the composer really didn't do much. He just made half dozen to a dozen different versions.
Is it the same guy who did Rearmed, Simon Viklund or something? Because I actually downloaded that off of iTunes for the Bionic Commando Rearmed.
Don't know.
It was really good. And I think it's like 99 cents. So go out and buy that. It's a really good song.
Yeah. There are some downsides to the game, however. There's like little to no boss battles, really.
Yeah. I guess some of the biomechs can be considered boss battles, but you kind of
they're kind of like mini bosses. They're not challenging enough to be a boss, but they're more than challenging to be more than a challenge.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
They get harder, but not they get harder in a sense that they just throw more of them at you.
So
yeah. They only have a certain weak spot, and it takes a lot to whittle them down if you're not hitting that spot.
Yeah.
It can be a pain in the ass if there's more than one, which does happen in the Central Park. Yeah, that gets to be a real pain.
The enemies are actually kind of creative. They use the fact of the story. I'm going to kind of spoil the intro scene because it's not really spoiling anything to the story. Nathan Spencer spends 5 years in prison, essentially, on death row. And so they use that, essentially, to go, well, while you're in prison, they made this, 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 and this, so now you get to fight it. So, which is kind of sneaky, actually. But So you get a lot of things to fight, and there's actually those biomechs, if you beat them, and if you beat them in a certain manner, every so often the pilot can actually open the canopy,
Oh, really?
and he'll actually pop out and run
See, I
around.
never had that. I just, like, they were usually a frantic fight with me, and I just throw as much as I could at them to blow them up as quickly as possible, because they really pissed me off.
However, the biggest downside, the almost non-existent story.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. Like, the story is definitely one of the worst parts of this. Like, they have, like, little sort of dashes of cutscene story in between. Most of it's told through guys talking to you on your radio as you're going through your regular missions. It's pretty boring. There's no real reason to even
And
pay
they don't
attention to
answer
it.
many questions. Like, you probably didn't get far enough to save, but there's a
I didn't
sniper
beat it.
character who saves you. Or who doesn't really save you, but he
Like, he took a shot at me.
intervenes during, a scene where, Spencer could have died.
Yeah.
But you meet him once more after that, and I'm not really spoiling anything because he doesn't say a fucking thing about who he is. So you don't know, like, you just get this sniper character who's supposed to be a ghost from the past, as Super Joe puts it, and right after that, you're just kind of sitting there
Twiddling your thumbs. Yeah. I think the worst part about the game for me is the fact that it's ridiculously repetitive. Basically, what happens is
Swing, shoot, jump,
yeah,
swing, shoot,
swing,
jump.
fight some dudes, hack a terminal, and then which takes literally no effort at all other than sticking your arm to it. I like the hacking mini game in Rearmed better
Yeah,
because
it was
you're
a lot
actually sort
better.
of doing something. But this one, you just stick your arm to it, you press the B button, goes into the computer, and then all these minefields, which are like hot air balloons with a big bomb on attached to it, and then basically you swing through that, kill some more guys, and then, another hacking scenario, and then maybe a flying biomech and some more biomech. It's like so...
They
I
did
don't...
that, though-
Did that go like all the way through the game like that?
For the most part.
What the fuck? Like, give us something else other than just, swinging, shooting a guy, hacking, then doing it all over again in just a different location.
There were some, like, there's collectibles. There's about 150, like, 3 collectibles.
Yeah.
There's about 5 to each level. Some levels don't have any, and some levels have, like, 10.
For me, though, other than looking really cool and getting an achievement for it,
They were actually pretty cool, and they actually are challenging, and they actually, again, they, like, force you to be creative, and they force you to think, on the swing mechanics to try and get them.
Yeah, some of them are
If
a
you
little
do
out of
care
your
about
way,
getting
and some of them you gotta find because they're hidden. But the fact is, like, the game is ridiculously linear, so straying off the beaten path, you're either gonna get killed because you fell into some water and your arm weighed you down, or you're gonna get killed because you ran into some radiation, or you're just gonna get frustrated with it and keep going with the mission.
Yeah.
And there was that first part where you have to cross all that water with those minefields. I died at least 15 times.
Yeah, I died a lot, too, at
Like,
the first.
God damn it. It pissed me off so much. I must have turned the game off like 4 times and then finally came back and I finally did it. And I was really happy, but I was pissed off. Like, it's a real pain in the ass. I really hated that part.
Yeah. It's got some good parts and downside. There's more positives and negatives than I can come with.
Yeah. I didn't play any of the multiplayer on PS3. I do think that the controls handle a little bit better on the 360, just because I like the triggers better on the 360. But I think the game did look a lot better on the PS3.
Probably. The multiplayer was a little bit laggy, though, but launch day, a lot of people were playing it. I could understand if the servers lagged up, but
Yeah.
it's not Halo or Call of Duty, so it was probably just because it's...
Nobody really cared.
Yeah. But it's a fun game. You should definitely check it out.
I say rent it.
Yeah. It's,
Rent it at
5-7
least.
day rental. It is worth, the $7.
Yeah.
So,
Why
definitely
not?
try it.
You'll get some fun out of it for sure.
Yeah. And easy achievements. It throws them at you like
That's
they're
true.
fucking candy.
That's true.
But jumping down the line here, we got Red Faction Guerrilla for the Xbox 360.
Yeah. Basically, this game is like a big...
Grand Theft
Touter
Auto
of-
Mars Edition.
Yeah, but with destructible environments to the extreme. I think this is probably the best destructible environment game ever made.
Every building can be destroyed. To put it blunt, like anything that's not part of Mars itself can be brought to the floor.
Yeah, and you really you take it right down to the ground. It's actually super fun.